The aspirant after Brahman should not remain a single moment without the thought of Brahman. Always Brahman is thought. Just like Sanaka, Shuka, others. They're all, every moment they were into Brahman only. They're all Brahmans. So here, Shankara Bhagavad emphasize meditation of Brahman from the very beginning, and thus wants to lead aspirant straight to the goal. It's the difference. Yama itself starts. Meditation of Brahman starts from the beginning itself, so that the aspirant reaches the goal straight. The nature of the cause is in the effect. Yes or no? Nature of the cause is in its effect, not the other way. There is no effect in the cause. It's a cause in the effect, no doubt here. So, through reasoning it is found that in absence of the effect, the cause as such also disappears. The effect is the result of cause. The effect is not there, cause also disappears. Is it difficult to understand? Any effect is there is a cause behind it, not otherwise. It is not the effect behind a cause. There is always a cause behind an effect. If the effect ceases to exist, the effect is absent, then does it cause exist? No. As long as there is an effect, it's a cause. But when the effect is absent, the cause no longer exists. When you do that, then pure reality Brahman, which is beyond speech, alone remains. This should be understood again and again through the illustration of the part in Chandogya Upanishad, chapter 4, section 1 and Sukta 4, which reads, very interesting, Yatha somyaikena mrutpindena sarvam runmayam vignat swadhyacharam vanam vikaro namadheyam mrutiketvaya satyam. As by knowing a lump of earth, you know that lump of earth, all things made of earth becomes known. All transformation as speech as its base and its name only. Earth as such is the reality. As in the world, the knowledge of a single mrutpindena. Mrutpindena is the lump of earth, which is the material cause of a water pot, pitcher, etc. Yes, sir. Sarvam, all other things, all the transformation of earth, which are made of earth become, that is known. That is the Vijnanam. The cause is the Mrutpinda, effect is all the
thought.
That's what told in Chandogya Upanishad. This same thing is repeated by our present what we call corporate gurus, refer to gold and its ornaments. They don't quote this Upanishad Vakya. They say gold and its ornaments. Here also, the phenomenal world, that is wonderful world, exists only in name. The world exists only in name, like with different parts. But Brahman is the reality. In this way alone, there arises the pure-minded state of awareness, Brahman, which is afterwards merged into Brahman. In this way alone, by constant practice of contemplation, where it dawns on the mind of the aspirant knowledge that Brahman alone is and nothing else exists. Thus, the ignorance which has so long deluded us by projecting the world of duality comes to an end. Thereafter, the mind also, which by destroying ignorance has brought the aspirant so close to Brahman. Ignorance vanishes like the fire. Wonderful explanation is given here. Ignorance vanishes like the fire which after consuming fuel itself extinguishes right now. Then Brahman alone shines in its glory. One should look for the cause by the negative method and then find the positive method. Very interesting. The cause can be inferred either from positive or from a negative position. The positive position is where there is an effect, there must be a cause. Is it not so? From either position, we come to conclusion that there is Brahman, which is the cause of the world. For if there were no Brahman, the world would be no world at all. If there is no Brahman, no cause, there would be no world at all. Again, there is world, therefore there is Brahman. One should see that the cause in the effect and then dismiss the effect altogether. Then remains is Brahman within oneself. What then remains? When both cause and effect have thus disappeared, is it not so? One may naturally conclude that only Shunya is left behind. It is not so. Shunya is not there, left behind, no. For absolute negation is an impossibility. Absolute negation is an impossibility, yes or no? That's why one may negate everything, but cannot negate one's own self. We may negate everything, yes, but can we negate our own self? No. So when causality is negated, what's beyond all negation is the very self of the inquirer, which is the ultimate reality. When you negate the cause, reality is self. A person who meditates upon a thing with great and firm conviction becomes that very thing. That's all. You meditate upon something, you become that. This may be understood from the illustration. All of us know about illustration. You know that? It's a popular belief that a wasp brings into its hole a small insect. That insect, out of fear, but it always thinks about that wasp only, because it put inside insect. But thinking constantly on that wasp, it becomes wasp itself and flies. You have seen this, you know. Is it not so? Wasp is Kanaja. If bites, you know, it will be very painful. It's called wasp. Kanaja, it will be available in the houses sometimes. In old houses, you can see in villages. It brings an insect inside and put it inside and construct a mud this thing. So also, if a person meditates on Brahman with all his mind, he will becomes Brahman in course of time. Always think with great care of the invisible, the visible, and everything else as his own self, which is conscious itself. Having reduced this visible to the invisible, one should think that universe as one with Brahman. That alone will be abide in eternal felicity with the mind full of bliss and consciousness. Having reduced the visible, a person may at first take some external thing as an object meditation, but we should afterwards think of it as existing only in the form of mind. And lastly, the mind should also be reduced to Brahman. So he says here, beginning you can make it something, some object, then change it to your mind, then The mind should be reduced to Brahman. That's what he says, Shankara. First you focus on an object, meditation. Then the focus changes to mind. Then the mind you convert into Brahman. Then one is said to have reached the highest goal. These 15 steps are purely psychological in its character, extremely difficult to be practiced by those who have not yet overcome the physical disabilities and banished the carnal appetite from the mind. What is carnal appetite? Vishya Lolupate. Who are into, we still there, we cannot practice this. To those who are devoted to the Guru and the deity, those who have implicit faith in the words of the Guru and have unflinching devotion to the chosen deity, Amba, become free from all doubts and easily acquire concentration, which directly leads them to the highest truth. What is the highest truth? Realizing Atman, realizing self-realization. One will simply achieve it. So this is Samadhi in one sentence. The complete forgetfulness of all thoughts, making it changeless, and then identifying it with Brahman is called Samadhi. Complete forgetfulness of all thoughts and then identifying it with Brahman is called Samadhi. That is knowledge, true knowledge.